Setting it up to also stream on Twitch and on YouTube. First time doing this, so thank you for bearing with me. It has been the Devin Booker show so far. A great start for Phoenix, mostly Devin Booker, as has been evident. 15 out of the 24 Phoenix Suns points. He is responsible for 19 of the Suns' 24 points. 15 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3. 2 out of 3 free throws. That was the foul, the flagrant foul on Julius Randle. 2 assists, both to Iguodala. Came in at around the 7-ish, 8-ish minute mark with Yusuf Nurkic picking up 2 fouls. 2 baskets on 2 well-timed cuts. And Minnesota, a great point brought up by the Timberwolves broadcast. You see on the screens, they're not doubling Booker. They are allowing him to shoot at free will. That one's in transition, so let's cut them some slack there. Another wing 3 with McDaniels doubling Tyus Jones, and then McDaniels gets there late. Another Devin Booker 3. They allowed 60 to De'Aaron Fox in their last game in Sacramento. And it was most of the same thing, like tough jump shot making, coming off screens, hitting floaters. Booker stays in. I will assume he'll play the entire first quarter. Interesting to note, when he gets rest, and Gobert gets another block, his second of the game, ball goes out of bounds. Grayson Allen came off that flare screen. Great contest there by Rudy Gobert. Booker missed that 3, finally missing from downtown. Edwards doubled on the screen. Drops it to DiVincenzo against Monte Morris, who just checked in. Dante misses the 3-pointer. Dante, a bit of a slow start this season, 30% from 3. He shot 40+% last year with the Knicks. Obviously not what Minnesota was expecting in that trade that sent Karl-Anthony Towns to New York. O'Neal, empty corner handoff. Iguodala popping out. Monte Morris driving inside. The floater in the lane is good for Monte Morris. And Phoenix attacking very well on that pick and roll, taking advantage of Minnesota's drop coverage with Gobert. Gobert on the short roll against O'Neal, kicking out Naz Reid. He's missed 2 threes already, and Minnesota struggling from beyond the arc to start. They are so good. They have been so good this year. 15.7 threes per game, 37.8%. Monte Morris hits a wing 3 of his own. Phoenix has been struggling from 3 without Kevin Durant. Just 33%, 19th in their last 4, all without KD. Today, they are 5 of 9 to start as Edwards gets fouled. Devin Booker has made 3 of those, 1 each for Nurkic. That was the first basket of the game. And Monte Morris just now, another Devin Booker assist, his 3rd. And something to really note was the battle of the 3-pointers. So they were both these teams are top 10 in threes. Minnesota is 4th in threes made. Phoenix is 8th. They were 7th in 3-point percentage with Kevin Durant on the lineup, but the defense for Minnesota has been really good on the threes. They are 1st in allowing the least amount of threes per game. Their opponents have only hit 11.3 3-pointers per game. That is 1st. And then in percentage allowed, they are 7th and 34.3%. So far, as I said, Phoenix 5 of 9. DiVincenzo goes back door against Dunn. Can't hit Alexander Walker right there for the follow. Makes it a 13-point game. First basket of the game for Nickeil Alexander Walker. Nas Reed coming up there at the level. They get a turnover. Edwards 1-on-1. Superstar against superstar. Trailing Alexander Walker. And that's a great basket there on the spin and the jumper off the glass. Makes it an 11-point game. Final minute, first quarter. Edwards now pressing up on Devin Booker. Reed coming up higher on the screen. Not a hedge per se. Edwards knocks it loose. Booker stays with it. Empty corner 1-on-1. And these are the matchups that we like to see. Booker against Edwards. Booker contested jumper and a foul. And Edwards wants a challenge. He's not happy with that call. That's his first personal. He was tight up on Devin Booker. Officials say Booker got hit on the elbow. We shall see. That's a foul. That is a foul. Obviously, the competitor in Edwards wants it to be a no call, but Chris Finch saving up his challenge. Devin Booker averaging 22 points this year. He's already up to 16. 17 pending this free throw. Now 17. 17 of the 31. He has 4 assists. Responsible for 25 of the 31 Suns points. A foul there as Randall drives on Iguodala. Randall checking back in. He has been the leader on offense for Minnesota, up to 7 points. 33 seconds left to play. Randall will go to the line. I've liked what I've seen from Julius Randle so far. People were... after the Cat trade, a lot of people were like, oh, Randall will immediately get traded. He won't play a game for Minnesota, or he'll get traded at that deadline as Mason Plumlee checks back in for Iguodala for this last, or for a 2-for-1. Let's see if Phoenix goes 2-for-1. But Randall as a connector has been really good. He's a great passer. Like, he can post up. He's physical. He defends well. He can shoot the three-pointer well. Like, he's been playing a good this year. 50% from the field, 36.8% from downtown, 20 points per game, along with Edwards. They're the only players averaging over 15 points per game. As Edwards is cut up, it appears. So we'll have 30 seconds to get that cleaned up. But yeah, I've liked Randall's fit. I mean, one could argue, and I don't know if this is a hot take, but maybe a better fit than the one with the one with Karl Anthony Towns. One could argue. So really, like, a great fit for Julius Randle. I'm having some issues with my YouTube stream. As Randle hits both. Makes it an 11-point game, 33 seconds. It's Oso Iguodala that's caught up, not Edwards. And Booker there on the double. He travels. So immediately Minnesota being more aggressive on the ball screens with Devin Booker. Nas Reed has been closer to the level there. A strong hedge. And Booker slides the pivot foot. That is a travel. So a turnover for Devin Booker. Minnesota pointing more attention to Devin. He gets a rest, so he'll rest these final 24 seconds of play. Josh Okogie checks in for Booker. Okogie was a starter the last game at OKC, not starting today. Edwards gets more, switched on him with 5 on the shot clock. Edwards on the runner. That one is good. Second basket for Ant-Man. Up to 4 points. He gets free there in the mid-range. Final 3 seconds. Morris gets by Edwards. Finds Plumlee. The floater can't go. To end the first quarter, Phoenix got up to a hot start, 10-2. Minnesota climbs back, but still a 9-point lead for the Phoenix Suns, 31-22, without Bradley Beal nor Kevin Durant. An excellent start by Devin Booker has Phoenix up 9 at the end of the first 12. I'm having some issues with my YouTube stream. Apparently with my bit rate. Get a custom key. I have no idea what I'm doing, to be crystal clear and honest. This is just vibes. This is just vibes. I'm also live on Twitch, so shout out to people watching on Twitch. So a great first quarter for the Suns, leading 31-22. Edwards getting free late, but Minnesota will really need Edwards to get it going. And Phoenix has not been shy of hedging those ball screens. However, again, interesting to note the foul trouble. Phoenix needs to control that. Plumlee has 1 foul. Yusuf Nurkic has 2. He sat early in the first, so Phoenix will have to pay attention to that. And obviously, the fatigue. Two older big men, right? So they need to contain Edwards. Booker will start the second quarter on the bench. So if I'm Minnesota, this is the golden opportunity to get back into this game. Conley in for Minnesota, along with DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker, Randall, and Naz Reid. They double Conley on the ball screen. Randall, empty corner handoff with DiVincenzo. Maybe had a look. Randall did as well. Don't get to nothing. Another handoff. 6 to shoot. Ball at half court. Randall one-on-one. He'll step back. Conley attacking the closeout. Pull up mid-range. Won't go. Plumlee clears for Phoenix. Him, Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, and Monte Morris in for Phoenix to start the second quarter. And Grayson Allen nails it from beyond the arc. The three-point battle was going to be interesting entering this one. Minnesota first in the least amount of three-pointers allowed. Phoenix top 10 in three-point makes. So far today, the battle has belonged to Phoenix. They are 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. They have been phenomenal shooting the three. Allen comes off the handoff, goes in with a left hand, and he scores it off the glass. So Grayson Allen off to a hot start in the second quarter. 5 points in the second period. It was 0 for 2 in the first, 2 for 2 in the second, and another turnover for Minnesota. Timberwolves struggling to create. That's their 4th turnover of the game. Allen against Reid. He scored the last 5 for Phoenix. He drives inside and gets fouled hard by Naz Reid. So Grayson Allen will get free throws. Phoenix up 14. 5-0 start to the second quarter for the Suns. Alexander Walker driving. Got up in the air with nowhere to go. Only Tyrese Halliburton should be allowed to do that. In terms of driving to the lane and jumping and then in the air deciding when to make a pass. Grayson Allen, you see there, the slow start he's had to this year. 35% from the field. Nails the free throw there. Allen looking to go 2 for 2. He does. gets the lead up to 18, 16, I should say. 38-22. Reed popping out. A three-pointer won't go. Nas Reed has been shooting very well from downtown this year. 0 for 3 to start tonight. DiVincenzo can't. Oh, yes, he can. DiVincenzo can hit from downtown. Just a 4-3 for Minnesota in 13 tries. And that has been a key for them this year. They're shooting 37.8% on the season. 8th in the league. Offensive foul there on Grayson Allen. They are 4th in 3-point makes per game at 15.7. Struggling so far to start this one at home. They are 3 for 12. So Allen gets the offensive call there. Phoenix also struggling to handle the ball. That's their 6th turnover. DiVincenzo rattles home a 3. Back-to-back threes by Dante DiVincenzo to get Minnesota rolling. Maybe a start of a good turnaround to his season. 4-on-1 for the Timberwolves. It'll be Randall with a strong hand finishing, and Mike Budenholzer calls for time. Minnesota with an 8-0 spurt to get within 8. They were down 16, creating with their defense. Conley knocks it away. Randall on the other end scores a 2. 3 minutes in, Devin Booker in the bench. Minnesota crawling back into it. And Phoenix also struggling to handle the ball. 7 turnovers, 2 of them by Monte Morris, and that is a very rare sight. Of course, the signings of Monte Morris and Tyus Jones were specifically made to have players that handle the ball well and allowed the big three to play without the ball. But of course, today, a different story. Phoenix as a team only averages 13.5 turnovers. That is ninth best for fewest amount of turnovers, should be noted. And when you look at individual players, Tyus Jones obviously takes care of the ball really well. And then Monte Morris himself only averages 0.2. Only 0.2 turnovers for Monte Morris. Only 11 minutes per game. But still, even if you round it out 22 minutes, 0.4 turnovers, you double it up, I should say. Very, very carefree with the basketball. Today, he's got 2 turnovers. So a lot of great defense being played by Minnesota. They are tightening up their coverage on pick and roll. So at the start, they were allowing Phoenix to get to wherever they wanted, whether that was lack of communication or just bad play. Phoenix was getting whatever they wanted in pick and roll. But since then, Minnesota has tightened up their pick and roll coverage. They were down 8. And you see the 3-point efficiency for both teams, which should be noted as well. Minnesota, one of the best 3-point defenses in the NBA. In terms of multiple stats, they allow the 7th worst 3-point percentage against them, 34.3. They allow the 3rd least attempts from 3 at 33, and only 11.3 makes per game on threes do the Minnesota Timberwolves allow. But they have created a lot of turnovers. They create chaos. They are in the pack. They are middle of the pack in terms of creating turnovers, as Grayson Allen scores yet again. 7 points in the second quarter. All 7 for Phoenix in the second quarter by Grayson Allen. Or 7 of the 9. for Phoenix. Monte Morris on the floater. Hit the other two as Julius Randle hits the turnaround. Phoenix today has 7 turnovers. I was mentioning it during the break. They only commit 13.5 turnovers, which is the 9th fewest amount of turnovers per game for any team. Monte Morris averages 0.2. He's got 2 already. Nurkic looking for a second 3, can't hit. Randall clears the board. Nurkic was 1 for 1 at the first 3, the first basket, the first points of the game. DiVincenzo and Randall playing 2-man game. Good denial there from Royce O'Neal. Conley going off the screen. Tyus Jones, good hands to knock it away. Tyus Jones, obviously one of the biggest additions in the offseason for any team. And for Phoenix, such has been the case. They were phenomenal. He has been phenomenal on both ends, especially on offense in terms of allowing the big 3 to flow without the ball. DiVincenzo will inbound. He'll receive the handoff. He'll fire and hit again. Third 3 for DiVincenzo in this game. All 3 in this second quarter. And maybe this starts to turn his season around. Only 8.9 points per game, 30% from 3. Heading into today's contest, 2.1 threes per game. He's already got 1 more than his season average. Jones gets inside, switching to the left. What a crafty finish from Tyus Jones. An incredible move on Jaden McDaniels. Was a good long defender. DiVincenzo again. Dante. 4 straight threes with no misses. 12 points in this second quarter has brought Minnesota within 4. He's denying Ryan Dunn the screen, and he forces him to travel with the basketball. This is what Minnesota was expecting when Dante DiVincenzo was acquired in the offseason, and that is what they're getting. DiVincenzo looking for a 5th one, can't hit. No, that would have been bonkers. But still, 4 for 5 from 3 in this quarter. Rob Dillingham checking in. He's defending Tyus Jones. Nurkic puts a shoulder into Gobert. McDaniels knocks it away. It's another Suns turnover. DiVincenzo driving. McDaniels on the short pass. It was intending to go up with it quickly. I believe he was expecting a lob. But he can't finish. As you see, Rob Dillingham checking in. Only his 7th game of the year. He's played in half the games Minnesota has played. This is their 14th game. Dillingham checking in for the 7th time. 2nd straight. And all his contests, he's played less than 10 minutes per game. DiVincenzo gets a well-deserved seat. Edwards checks in for him. So Dillingham and Edwards, probably one of the most athletic backcourts that you could put together in the NBA currently. Running right now for Minnesota. Getting a fresh body in. Dillingham defending Tyus Jones. Booker comes off the screen. McDaniels does a better job at staying with him. Getting back on. Reed got close. Forced the pass out to Josh Okogie. Jones working against Dillingham. Can't hit. Minnesota getting back into it. They are dominating this second quarter. Edwards gets it knocked away. And technical foul on Anthony Edwards. With the ball in his hands, he gets teed up. That is interesting. I think he was looking for the foul. Allen did hold his shoulder. So that's a T on Edwards. Julius Randle has a flagrant foul. And Edwards has been getting hit. He has been looking for those calls all game. Minnesota in the midst. I'm trying to do the math here. In the midst of a 17-5 run. A 17-5 run for Minnesota. Gobert rolled wide open. Edwards either didn't see him or looked him off. Either way, Minnesota plays on. Naz Reid goes right at Nurkic, and that's a foul on Yusuf Nurkic. That's his third. So that is a very important call. I was mentioning the foul trouble of the Phoenix Suns bigs. Nurkic picks up his third. So both Suns bigs started together. Nurkic and Plumlee. They're centers. Iguodala is a big as well, but you get what I mean. It is Nurkic's third foul. I don't see any movement on the Suns bench, so Nurkic will stay in the game with 3 personal fouls. Right? I didn't hear. Yep, Nurkic grabs the board, so Nurkic stays in with the 3 fouls. Phoenix is precisely up by 3. Past the halfway mark of this second quarter. Nurkic setting a hard screen on McDaniels. Booker snakes off. He gets the late switch, which is exactly what he wanted, to be able to drive inside, go past Gobert, and score the bucket. Continuing his red-hot first quarter, Booker up to 20 points in this first half, 2 shy of his season average in just the first 24 minutes. As Reid misses another 3. He hasn't made one today. Or he has, actually. No, he has not. He's 0 for 4. I was looking at the free throw. And an illegal screen on Tyus Jones. So a lot of ticky-tacky fouls called on Phoenix on the offensive end. As Michael Grady mentioned, that's the 10th turnover for Phoenix. A team that takes care of the basketball really well. They only average 13.5. And they have 10 in this first half. And Minnesota are middle of the pack in forcing turnovers. So a lot of unforced errors by Phoenix, by their lead guards, Booker, Morris, Jones. Reid, give and go. Dillingham, the floater off the mark. Naz Reid can't hit. He has not been able to hit a field goal. Speaking of Naz Reid, he only has 1 point on free throws. He is looking for 2 more. He's 0 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3. He worked the 2-man game there with Dillingham, who couldn't convert the floater. Reid grabbed the board and got fouled. So free throws for Naz Reid. He hits the first. And Naz Reid able to hit both. Makes it a 3-point game. 4:50 left to play in this first half. Booker holding onto his face. It appears he got hit. He hesitates, drives by, but a foul called before the Devin Booker drive. It is McDaniels holding on to Mason Plumlee. The foul called there on Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels is doing a way better job at getting back in the action. So he was getting left behind those screens in the first quarter as Plumlee throws it down on Rudy Gobert. Phoenix has been attacking that drop coverage all day long, and Plumlee throws it down all over Gobert. Dillingham, another floater attempt. That one way off. Okogie with the rebound and the breakaway. Iguodala drives by, kicks to Tyus Jones. Phoenix looking for a good shot. Booker, wing 3, rattles it in. Devin Booker with another 3-pointer. Up to 23 points. Past his season average. 7 of 10 from the floor. His 4th make from beyond the arc puts Phoenix back up by 8. Timeout, Chris Finch. And Phoenix coming into the game, they were red hot with Kevin Durant, 8-1 record, 1-3 without Durant in their last four. Durant was hurt on November 8th in Dallas, suffered a left calf strain. He's been out a week. It was reported initially that would be out for 2 weeks, so he's expected to be out at least another week. But Phoenix, coming off a season low point output against the OKC Thunder in their last game, they only scored 83 points. Before that, 104. That was to the Kings. So having their difficulties have the Phoenix Suns, and both those games were on the road. So a great first half against a very good Minnesota Timberwolves team, who is 7th in the league at allowing points, 110.6 points per game allowed. That is the 7th lowest amount. And I mentioned they're so great at defending the three-point line. 3rd lowest amount of threes attempted against them, and 11.3 threes made, which is the lowest amount of threes allowed by any team. They only allow 33 attempts. And Phoenix in this first half, you couldn't tell that Minnesota is good at defending the three-point line. Phoenix is 7 of 12 from 3 in this first half for 58.2.3, I should say, percent from downtown. So the difficulties for Phoenix without Kevin Durant not being noticed, only 106 points averaged without Durant these last 4 games. That is 25th in the league. They were at 114.4 points with Durant in those first 9 games. Good for 12th in the association. 106.3 without him would places them 25th in that stretch since November 9th. So since Kevin Durant got hurt, Minnesota in their season worst stretch, after winning 3 in a row by an average margin of 17.3, they would drop 3 in a row after that. They won their last game at Sacramento, staving off a 60-point performance by De'Aaron Fox. However, they did blow the lead. They were up by 16 entering the 4th. They blew the lead, won it in overtime. Anthony Edwards saved them with 37 points. But here in this first half, those struggles of these last 4 games continuing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. In that stretch, they lost 2 straight to Portland. So Minnesota not playing good basketball recently. Reed kicks to Jaden McDaniels in the wing, attacking, gliding in, can't hit Booker with the rebound. Minnesota forcing shots, good defense by the Suns, closing out on the perimeter. Booker coming off a screen on Plumlee. Gobert stays him off. Okogie looking for the foul on Edwards, scores it off the window. Everything falls for Phoenix in this first half. Edwards lobbing it up to Gobert, knocked away by Iguodala. Reed gets to the lane and nails the floater. Naz Reid gets it going, his first field goal of the game. McDaniels pressing up on Booker. Coming off the screen by Iguodala. Booker pushes off, gets to his spot in the mid-range. Devin Booker, smooth like butter. He has it going. He is on a heater. Whatever description you can find for describing someone not missing. It fits the bill for Devin Booker. Up to 25 in this first half as Jaden McDaniels rattles home a 3. That is the strength of Minnesota. Collapsing the defense, kicking it out, and moving it around the perimeter. That has been their strength this season. Gobert steps out to double. Pocket pass. Iguodala scores. He has 6 points in this first half. All have come along baseline cuts. Great effort by Iguodala. He gets the steal there off the press by Mason Plumlee. Iguodala gets it knocked away clean. McDaniels and Dillingham combine for the defense, but Okogie steals it back. He can't lay it in. Plumlee will get it on the second chance. And the effort by Phoenix ramping up there, a hedge by Mason Plumlee on the Rudy Gobert screen. And they pressed up on the rookie Dillingham out of Kentucky. He appears nervous there. He picked up the dribble. He had an advantage. Rudy Gobert, speaking of advantages, lays it in against Iguodala. So Rudy Gobert's first basket of the game 2 points, 3 rebounds. He has 2 blocks. Both of them were in the first quarter. Devin Booker for 3. That would have been insane. But he gets the offensive rebound. He can't hit. That would have also been insane. On that offensive rebound by Plumlee. On the pick and roll, Gobert met by Iguodala and a really bad pass. And that's a matchup Gobert needs to attack. Against Iguodala, he scored an easy one on the last trip down. So he really needs to attack that matchup against Aso Iguodala. Really a matchup he needs to take advantage of. Iguodala at 6'10", Gobert at 7 feet. Long arms. So, and that's a shot he got to the last possession, as I said. So something that Gobert needs to do. Stack pick and roll for Phoenix. Pass across the court by Jones to Royce O'Neal. Booker receives a ghost screen from O'Neal. Nothing doing there. 7 to shoot. Conley against Booker. Booker driving, skips Okogie. Okogie had a season-high 11 in his last game against the OKC Thunder. He scores the layup there. He started that game against OKC. Coming off the bench tonight, or today, I should say. As Edwards misses a 3, Suns going with that double big lineup with Plumlee and Nurkic. Okogie driving, spinning, kicking O'Neal. Final minute, first half. Jones organizing with 8 to shoot. Or excuse me, Okogie had 13 that last outing as Booker pulls it up and nails it again. An insane first half from Devin Booker, 27 points. Okogie coming off 2 season best games, 25 points against Sacramento, 15 against OKC. Should correct myself. Randall driving against Iguodala, foul called. Iguodala claiming he went straight up. Randall gets the foul called. So free throws coming for Julius Randle, who has been the leading man in this first half for Minnesota, 14 points. He has split them between the first 2 quarters. He had 7 in the first, 7 in this second quarter. As he nails that first free throw. I was reading off the NBA.com box score, which is ahead by a bit. But he had 7 in the first quarter, shooting 5 of 8 from the floor. DiVincenzo has 12 points. He's second in command. All 12 have come in this second quarter. So Minnesota adjusted. They got in the game thanks to that red-hot stretch from DiVincenzo when he hit 4 straight threes in this second quarter as Randall hits the second as well, 15 for Julius to lead the way for Minnesota in this first half. They trail by 11. They got to as close as 4. But Phoenix has staved them off with Devin Booker checking in. And on the backs of his 27 points, he gets doubled there, a hard double. Jones, quick skip. Ryan Dunn can't hit, but Okogie follows it up with a huge putback slam with 2 seconds left to play in this first half. Randall gliding through, and he nails the 3 to end the first half on a positive note for the Minnesota Timberwolves. What a back and forth stretch between Phoenix and Minnesota. That one clearly good. Off in time, off the fingertips of Julius Randle. A putback slam by Josh Okogie. A 3 by Randle. Phoenix leads by 10 after the first 24 in Minnesota. That was a fun first half. I'm liking this. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This is fun. This is fun. I'm liking this so far. Um, I will be back. I will feed my dogs. I gotta follow on Twitch. I'm streaming on 3 places at once. On Playback, obviously the main one, but I'm also streaming on Twitch and YouTube. You can you can drop down comments. I will do my best to read them. Of course, I'm 3 places at once, so apologies ahead. But shout out to I just saw it. I saw it on an email. So thank you so much, Bay M2 Hot, for the follow. That is clearly a bot. Why didn't I read that ahead of time? Should have read that ahead of time. That is clearly a bot. What am I doing? What am I doing? DeAndre Ayton is out. Finger contusion. So if I can pick up Donovan Clingan somewhere, that would be great. Donovan Clingan is freaking awesome. Donovan Clingan is awesome. Like it. A bit of a hot take. Let me look at the draft class. Let me look at this year's draft class because I have a hot take. But I want to look at the draft class first. I think this take is gonna stand. I mean, I'll just say I think Donovan Clingan is the best player of this draft class, of this latest draft class. I really like him as a player. I really like defensive center bigs, which is why I really liked Mark Williams coming into his draft class. Mark Williams has been his entire career hurt, so that sucks. But I think Donovan Clingan is the best prospect, just best prospect, best player in this draft class. Just his tenacity on defense, um, his knack for the ball. He's very physical. Like he gets to everything. He's just really good. He is really good. So I really like Donovan Clingan. I think he is the best player of this draft class. It's between him and Alexander Sarr. Between him and Alexander Sarr, to be fair. But I think Klingon takes the cake. I like him a lot. And DeAndre Ayton is out with a finger contusion I just read. So it appears that Donovan Clingan will be getting more playing time. And when Portland starts selling, they trade away DeAndre Ayton eventually because he has a costly contract and Clingan is on a rookie deal and Portland is rebuilding. So I don't think it benefits them hanging on to Ayton. Ayton is a free agent next year. So after next season, 2025-26 is his last season under contract with Portland. I don't know if he gets traded mid-season. I think he gets traded in the offseason because that big of a contract, that I think it's tough to put together a package for that in the middle of a season. So I think he gets traded next season. I think Robert Williams if he stays healthy, because Robert Williams gets hurt a lot. I'm gonna go feed my dogs, and I'll be back and I'll continue this conversation because they are starving. So, 15 minutes or shy than 15 minutes. So like I'll say 12 ish before the second half starts in this one. So I'll be back in a few. Okay, so getting back into it. I think Donovan Killian is the best prospect in this class. And speaking of Portland's situation, uh, so the thing with Robert Williams, which is the thought I left with, uh, he's not healthy a lot. He is very hurt, very much all the time. So him staying healthy is big for this Timberwolves squad. So given that he's currently healthy-ish and he's playing well, if I'm Portland, I take advantage of the opportunity and trade him if he's healthy at the deadline. If I'm Portland, I'm crossing my fingers that he's healthy at the deadline, um, and I sell him high. He's 27 years old. He's at his prime. Um, so take advantage of the opportunity and trade him now. And then you'll have Klingon. Dwop Reith is also there, but I'm not really counting for him in terms of like being like such a big piece of this puzzle for Portland. There's a putback by Namias Keto, someone who is also like as a fan of mobile defensive minded bigs. I really like it's Mark Williams, it's Namias Keto. When I saw him in a summer league, I think it was last year, like not this summer league, the past summer league, so 2023 summer league. I really like what I saw. I think he was playing with Sacramento at the time, and I really like what I saw from him. Mark Williams, when I saw him playing at Duke in March Madness, I was like, I love this dude. I really like him, and it sucks that he's been hurt most of the time. Um, just speaking about Donovan Klingon just now, I really like him. Shout out Kenny Wooten. Where are my Kenny Wooten fans? Kenny Wooten was one of my like when he was coming up. I don't remember where he played, but he was in the. I think he has like a record for blocks in the G League. With he was playing with the Westchester Knicks. Where are my Kenny Wooten stands? Who remembers Kenny Wooten? Kenny Wooten was freaking awesome. He was freaking awesome. I really liked him. He couldn't do anything on offense. He couldn't finish at the rim. Like you could just it was just a lob merchant on offense. But his defense, good God, it was insane. It was insane. I don't even think he rebounded a lot. Let me look up Kenny Wooten. We are looking up Kenny Wooten at 4:52 Eastern time on this beautiful Sunday because what else can we do? What else can we do? So Kenny Wooten, he played in Oregon. That's where he played. Interesting. He never played in the NBA. He only played two-way contracts. Is there a way to look up Kenny Wooten G League stats? Can you give me historical Kenny Wooten G League stats? The G League page cannot give me official Kenny Wooten, or can yes it can. Yes it can. I correct myself. So he played with the Westchester Knicks, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, MNE. I'm not quite sure what that stands for. What does MNE stand for in the G League? These are the main Celtics. Okay, the main Celtics, and then the Raptors 905. He averaged 3.6 blocks with the Knicks in 2019-2020. Freaking awesome. He dropped off. He only averaged 1.1, 1.3, 1.3 after that. Um, so that year with the Knicks, 24 minutes per game, 7.6 points, 3.6 blocks in 2019-2020 with the Westchester Knicks in 27 games. That was incredible. Like that is the Kenny Wooten experience. I like what is up with Kenny Wooten? Like is he playing overseas? A lot of these NBA players, like people don't they disappear from the league, but they go play overseas and they can make a career out of basketball outside the NBA. So I'm really curious to know what the life of Kenny Wooten is because, like, goddamn, he was awesome. He was awesome. Shout out Kenny Wooten. I only saw like 3 stack action plays, but I need to get better at identifying like these complex plays in real time. I can see them watching the replay of a game. I struggle to see them live. So that's something I need to improve. Regardless, speaking of live, we are back here live. Minnesota receiving the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix led wire to wire in that first half. They got up to as large as they got up to as large as 16 was their largest lead. It was 38-22 in the second quarter. Minnesota cut it to as few as 3. They used a big run in the second quarter to make it a 3-point game, 42-39 at the 6:38 mark. But Phoenix, led by Devin Booker's 27 points, which is way past his season average. As McDaniels gets fouled by Ryan Dunn, way past his season average for Devin Booker. His season high is 40. He's only gone past 30 1, 2, 3 times. So only in 3 out of 13 games has Devin Booker gone past the 30-plus point mark. As McDaniels misses the first free throw. So a really slow start to the year for Devin Booker. I'll try something. His first 13 last year, he had passed the 30-plus point mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 5 times in his first 13 games last year, he passed 30-plus points. This year, only 3 in his first 13, and there's an illegal screen by Mason Plumlee. Nurkic hits the 3, but it won't count. So the foul trouble keeps ramping up for the Phoenix Suns. Nurkic has 3 fouls. He picked up his 3rd in the second quarter. He stayed. Mason Plumlee now has 3 fouls. And they are dealing with Rudy Gobert. They are dealing with Julius Randle. They are dealing with Nas Reed. Also, Iguodala also has 3 fouls. So if Phoenix, and they don't have Kevin Durant, which that's the underrated part of losing Kevin Durant. They lose that extra tall body on defense. Randle misses the 3. Gobert gets the offensive rebound, goes right at Nurkic, can't hit, lose ball, and a foul on Nurkic. No, it's on Ryan Dunn. Referee marked it on 0. So now Ryan Dunn picks up his 2nd. So Minnesota, I think, needs to start being more aggressive in the paint. They have 7 offensive rebounds as Gobert hits the free throw. That's his first attempt from the foul line. But they need to be much more adamant in attacking the rim. They only have 22 points in the paint in this contest. Phoenix has 28 for context. So Minnesota needs to be much better in that respect. McDaniels higher up on the screen, defending Booker. Randle as well stepped up. Booker contested 3, a foul called on Jaden McDaniels. That is the 2nd time Devin Booker gets fouled attempting a 3-pointer. That is McDaniels' 2nd. First time Booker got fouled on a 3 was a flagrant foul by Julius Randle. You see there. Did Booker jump on McDaniels? I was looking at my phone for a bit. I didn't see the exact point where Booker landed on the floor, but it seemed like Booker jumped into McDaniels. Regardless, Booker has a chance to get the 30. It's his first attempt there. Phoenix playing without Beal nor Kevin Durant. Beal for the 3rd straight contest, Durant for the 5th. Booker carrying the Suns in this one. They are up by 10. He's got 29 of the 66. He scored 15 in the first quarter. And he has gotten to 30. His season high is 40. In these last 4 without KD, averaging just 21 points. It was already way past that in the first half. Edwards kicks. Randle, corner 3 is good. He's hit one from each corner, on the left corner, on that side of the floor where he's defending right now, and now on the right side, the opposite side. McDaniel
Nurkic posting up against Gobert. Nurkic gets denied. Shot clock down to 4. Plumlee has to go. And I am really happy with that shot if I'm Minnesota. Plumlee airballs it into the 10th ball. For some reason, my microphone disconnected. We're back. Ryan Dunn fouled on the floater by Anthony Edwards. Ryan Dunn, I mentioned at the top, his production going down. He started the season red hot, and people were making a people were really fascinated with his start to the season. However, he has calmed down recently. Case in point, he misses both free throws there. He's only got 2 points. Randall tries a 3. That one's in and out. Edwards gets it down to the right side against Ryan Dunn. He crosses over, looks to attack a foul called on Dunn. Edwards has been very quiet. He's averaging 28 points per game this season. He's only got 4. Randall has led the charge with 21. And I think Edwards, he started looking for a shot. He was doubled on those ball screens. Didn't go his way, and he lost the ball a couple of times. And since then, he's been really quiet in terms of looking for a shot. Randall finds Gobert, who throws it down for 2. 8-point game. And now Minnesota ramping up the intensity on Devin Booker, making him think a lot, making him see multiple bodies. Dumps it to Plumlee, who gets pushed off. He kicks it. Tyus Jones nails the 3-pointer. And one thing for Phoenix, they've been red hot from downtown. Tyus Jones hits one there. His first 3-point make. Phoenix 50% from 3, 8 of 16. Randall extra pass. McDaniels from the corner. Nails one in his own right. Minnesota has 9 threes. 9 points for Jaden McDaniels. Randall DiVincenzo have combined for 7 of the 9 threes for Minnesota. 1 each for Conley and McDaniels. The other 2 to make it 9. Minnesota 9 of 23 from downtown. One of the best 3-point shooting teams this season in the association. 15.7 threes made per game. That is 4th. They allow the least amount of threes per game at 11.3. Phoenix already has 8. They are shooting 50%. DiVincenzo checks back in. He had that hot stretch in the second quarter. 12 points in the period. Made 4 straight threes. Almost gets a steal there, but forces the turnover on Ryan Dunn. Dunn has had his difficulties. Started his season very well, and people were up in arms about his improvement from 3. To start his NBA career as Gobert throws it down to make it a 6-point contest. Dunn in his first 5 games shot 44% from 3. Averaged 9.4 points as Nurkic lays it home on the reverse on the pass of Tyus Jones. Since that, in his last 7 games, Ryan Dunn is averaging 6 points, 24% from 3. He's gone back down to earth. Randall driving at Nurkic, avoids him and scores with a strong hand to left. Julius Randle has 23. He is on a heater. puts Minnesota within 6. Gobert jumps up. Booker steps back, and that's a 3. Very ironic. Anthony Edwards hit a couple of those threes like that, stepping back on the left side at Sacramento on Friday to give Minnesota the win in overtime against the Kings, thwarting De'Aaron Fox's 60-point outing, forcing him to take the L. Booker hits one like that. Gobert up top. Couldn't finish off the feed from Julius Randle. Booker on the handoff. Pick and pop. Nurkic in the corner. Pops it back out to Booker. Working with no one on that left corner. Just Booker and Nurkic. 8 to shoot. 6.5 left. Third quarter. Ryan Dunn skips. Nurk has one. Looking for another one. He was also looking for a foul there. Gets neither the 3 nor the foul. DiVincenzo in transition. Skips to Randle. He has one in that corner. He now has 2. Julius Randle. It is the Randle and Booker showdown in Minnesota. Randle has 26. And a timeout called by the Phoenix Suns. 6 minutes left to play. 6 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Timberwolves bring it within 6. They have trailed all game, but Julius Randle trying his best to put the Timberwolves back on top. Couple of controversies in the NBA lately. In 2 straight days, well, no, both of these were yesterday. So the Jason Tatum game winner where he traveled. And then the Giannis Antetokounmpo play against LaMelo Ball where referees called a foul. Milwaukee didn't have a challenge, so they couldn't challenge the call. And then both of those came out on the 2-minute report that there was no contact. Or there was no contact on the Giannis call. And then on the Jason Tatum play, I just read that it should have been called a travel. So we'll see if we get another clutch situation today in this one between Minnesota and Phoenix. Let's see how these two match up in the clutch because it appears we are heading towards a clutch situation. Right now it's a 6-point game. Phoenix is 7-1 in clutch games decided by 5 or less. However, it should be noted that of those clutch games, only 1 has come with Kevin Durant. Or not even, because the game that went to overtime, they lost by 9. So no clutch games with Kevin Durant. They are 7-1 in the clutch overall. Minnesota is 4-3. I'll read up more on those clutch numbers if we get there. Phoenix has trailed this entire game. Their largest deficit was 16. Plumlee drives right at Gobert. They are not respecting Rudy Gobert. Mason Plumlee has already hit 2 very much contested shots against Rudy Gobert. A posterizing dunk in the first half. And now this layup. Randle has been making it a point to find Gobert when he drives inside. Good defense there to deny. 6 to shoot. Edwards has been quiet. He's looking to get loud. Here with the Euro step, he does just that. And the foul, hoop and the harm for Anthony Edwards on the shake and bake. And when I said two bodies show up, he doesn't get rid of it immediately because he wants to do stuff like that. He wants to go between two defenders. He wants to draw the extra attention, and he wants to get to his shot. There he got hit in the face by Booker. He completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way, makes it a 4-point game. 4 is the closest Phoenix or Denver has been, or Minnesota has been, I should say. Booker fouled before the shot. No, they called it on the shot. Edwards is saying it was down, but it got called on the shot. As we see the and one once again. Edwards is taking the Devin Booker assignment. It has been split between Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. Edwards started on him. He got the first possession of the ball game. Gobert hedges briefly. Booker gets to a spot, can't hit. DiVincenzo lost the board out of bounds. And Minnesota cannot get closer than 4 points. They have trailed this entire game. 4 is the closest they got it in the second quarter. They were down 10-2 to start the ball game. Booker has been quiet in this third quarter. He's missing some contested shots. Minnesota with a hand up at all times. Edwards one-on-one looking to get it going. Can't hit there. Long rebound to Tyus Jones. Hand off Booker. Extra feed O'Neal. The right pass to Anthony Edwards. Look out! Anthony Edwards with 5 points in this third quarter. He had 4 in the first half. Royce O'Neal with the runner gets it to drop. To stop the bleeding briefly for Phoenix. It had gone down to 2 points. They have led the entire way. Edwards, foul on Randall, committed by Royce O'Neal. So now you see Anthony Edwards hunting for his shot more. As Edwards got the steal and kept it simple. It's a close game. No need to get too fancy, but we know he can. 2 hands to be safe. Both teams in the penalty with 4 minutes left to play. It will be free throws for Julius Randle, who has led the way for Minnesota, 27 points. Now you see the dunks. As I mentioned, Anthony Edwards has the capacity to go crazy. And that was the Timberwolves' last game against Minnesota. The last game against Sacramento. Of course, how could they be playing themselves? Come on. I'm looking for a stat. As Randall hits both, makes it a 2-point game. Anthony Edwards averages 13.5 points per game in the second half of this season. In the first half, as Booker hits another crazy jumper, in the first half, he averages 14.4. So very balanced between the first and second half for Anthony Edwards. I was trying to see if that was a trend. Guess not. Randall has a mismatch against Booker. He spins, draws the attention of the defense. Anthony Edwards hits a 3. It is a 1-point game. Anthony Edwards with 8 points in this third quarter. Way more aggressive, but there Randall drawing the attention of the defense, and he found him in the wing as Royce O'Neal stops the bleeding once again. Second straight basket by O'Neal for the Suns. And I mentioned the fit for Randall. That's why I like it. I didn't see Karl Anthony Towns last year making those type of reads. So Randall way better in that regard. Edwards with another jumper against Iguodaro. And this is where Anthony Edwards is really fun to watch. He gets it going on offense, and on defense, he really tightens up. There you see getting the switch on Monte Morris, forcing him to pick up his dribble. Alexander Walker against Booker. Booker gets to the paint, left it short, gets his own rebound. O'Neal calls it down. Shot clock resets to 14 off the offensive board. Monte gets inside. Alexander Walker denied him. O'Neal almost traveled, kept the pivot down, and Royce O'Neal once again stops the bleeding for Phoenix. 7 straight points by Royce O'Neal. Edwards looking for the give and go. Doesn't get it. O'Neal has all of his 7 points in this third quarter. Randall gets denied. Contact, no call. Allen comes the other way. And he'll calm it down. Final 2 minutes, third quarter. This has gotten close. Phoenix leads by 4. Booker with Randall marking him. On the left wing, step back 3 for Devin. That is nasty. That is nasty work from Devin Booker. Up to 37, 3 shy of a season high. He's only missed 8 shots. He has been sensational today in Minnesota, kicking off this Sunday slate. DiVincenzo looking to drop it off to Naz Reid. It was knocked away. Kept alive, 5 to shoot. Randall in the corner. Against Iguodala. Pump fake. He'll fire short. He hit 2 from the opposite corner. Couldn't get the same look there. Booker with Reed switching on him. Booker with the hot hand, just like he did in the first quarter where he had 15 of his 37. Royce O'Neal can't convert. Edwards taps the rebound, and he gets it back. Final minute, third period. Pull up above the break! And man! Shot after shot, Edwards and Booker trading blow for blow. And this is the Anthony Edwards we know, averaging 28 points entering this game. Only 4 in the first half, 13 in this third. O'Neal can't hit. He has 7 in the period. Couldn't hit there. Wolves down 4. DiVincenzo can't convert. He had 4 straight without missing in the second period. Phoenix will calm it down. They look to get a good shot. 8-second difference, game and shot clock. 20 seconds left to play. Booker looking for a screen. He's drawing Allen and Iguodala to their spots. O'Neal wide open again. Missed a second straight 3. Allen the offensive rebound. Phoenix gets the last shot. Morris was open, handed it off. Devin Booker can't hit. Randall the rebound. And they will end the third quarter like that. What a period. Back and forth between Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker. All in all, Timberwolves win the quarter. The first they win today, 32-26, off the back of 13 third quarter points from Anthony Edwards, and they draw it closer. They are down 4. Man, oh man, this is fun. What a great first game to do my first stream. This is a fun back and forth. Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker against each other. This is fun. Shout out to those watching on Twitch. Shout out to those watching on YouTube. Shout out to those watching on playback. It has been fun to be with you all. Hopefully this is something I do on a daily basis. This is really fun. I apologize to, I think my neighbors might get pissed off if I keep on screaming, but this is fun. I love doing this. I love doing play-by-play commentary. I love watching basketball. This is fun. This is very, very, very fun. So it appears to be a fun one. Heading down the stretch of this one in Minnesota. First game of this NFL Sunday slate in the association. Minnesota, Miami. Jesus Christ, I got my teams mixed up. Indiana, Miami Heat already tipped off. It is 12-5 Indiana. Miami dominated Indy their last game out. Bam Adebayo had the best game of his season so far, averaging 15 points entering the game, had 30 against Indy. Last game they played, that was on Friday. Devin Booker starts on the bench, getting back to this one. Edwards carrying Minnesota. Julius Randle did so in the first half. He had 17 in the first half. Anthony Edwards doing it to end the third quarter. And between them, they have gotten Minnesota back in it. Phoenix playing without Bradley Beal nor Kevin Durant. Lob offside. Iguodala gets hit on the head and foul. We'll see who they call it on. It appears it'll be on Alexander Walker. No, it's on Rudy Gobert. That's his first. Between Alexander Walker and Gobert, they sandwiched Iguodala in the head. But it's on Rudy. So Iguodala will get free throws. And he has provided some really great minutes for the Phoenix Suns today. He was saying tonight. I'm accustomed to NBA games being at night. But he has had a great first half. Now up to 7 points. 3 for 4 from the field. He's done a great job of being around the dunker spot, cutting. Great play by Royce O'Neal, stealing it from behind of Rudy Gobert, and Grayson Allen hits the three. Big time play by Royce O'Neal. He is a winner. He made those plays in Utah, in Brooklyn, and now with the Suns. The first season he starts with Phoenix. He was traded at the halfway mark last year. Edwards misses the three. And this stretch for the Suns without Devin Booker is important. Grayson Allen off the flare screen hits a three. Back-to-back threes from Grayson Allen. And Phoenix makes it an 11-point game to start this fourth quarter. And I was about to say, Phoenix started the second quarter without Devin Booker. And they got up to 16 points leading without Devin on the court. Now in the fourth, they start with Devin on the bench, and they are up 11. So very interesting that Devin Booker is carrying the Suns, but Phoenix is doing just fine without him. Because, let me review what I said. See, the second quarter, Devin Booker was on the bench. Right, he didn't start the third. He checked in at the 6:38 mark. And Phoenix got up to a 16-point lead. Minnesota came back as well. They got it within 4, or within 3, and then Booker checked back in. But still, they got up to that 16-point lead with Booker on the bench. So that's why I mentioned that. It is a very curious trend in this game. Very, very, very fascinating. So you see Devin Booker there, 27 in the first half, 30 for the game. But very interesting. The Suns have not needed Devin Booker necessarily, and you know I'll explain myself. Devin Booker played the entire first quarter. He ended the final 24 seconds of the first quarter. He was on the bench, and then he started the second quarter on the bench. He checked in back into the game at the 6:38 mark of the second quarter. Between that point, Phoenix built up a 16-point lead, and they also blew it. Minnesota got as close to 3 before Booker checked back in. But they built up a 16-point lead without him as DiVincenzo hits his 5th 3 of the game. Already the best game of the season for Donte DiVincenzo. He is getting it going for Minnesota. Entered this game struggling from 3. 30% from 3, far beyond the 40% he shot last year with the Knicks. Only 2 threes made per game as the Suns add another one. Already a season high in threes made for Donte DiVincenzo. In his last 2 games, he was shooting 2 of 13 from beyond the arc in his last 3 prior to today. Where, as I said, he has gotten it going, and hopefully for Minnesota, it's the start of great things. He is 5 of 8 today. But Phoenix built up that 16-point lead without Devin Booker, and now in this fourth, they built up an 11-point advantage with Booker on the bench. Now it's down to 7 as Naz Reid converts the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. 10:24 left to play. Just starting this fourth quarter, Anthony Edwards goes to the bench. Iguodala rolling hard. 4th shot. Reid tips it out. Conley retrieves it. DiVincenzo. Empty corner screen from Gobert. Another attempt. That one can't go. Rebound Grayson Allen. Tyus Jones in early on. Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen. Also Iguodala and Josh Okogie. Mike Conley, Alexander Walker, Reid, Gobert, and DiVincenzo. The 10 on the court for Phoenix and Minnesota, respectively. Allen forced it, no call. Alexander Walker stepping through against Iguodala, and he scores with the left. Great finish by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Devin Booker heads back to the scorer's table to check in. He will play these final 9 minutes, or so I would assume. Conley knocks it away from Tyus Jones. Ball stays on this side with Phoenix as you see the basket by Alexander Walker against a good defender in Iguodala. Still able to convert. Alexander Walker 6 points today. Walker with Alexander Walker chasing him. Edwards still on the bench. O'Neal left open. He has 7 points. All 7 came in that third quarter. Stopping the bleeding and keeping Phoenix on top. Okogie attacking the closeout. That's a really bad foul at the end of the clock. 4.2 left to shoot. And DiVincenzo trying to step in and avoid the Okogie drive. Commits the personal foul. That's just his first. But again, the shot clock running out. Booker on a back door. Posts up, deep post position against Alexander Walker, and that is way too easy for Devin Booker. He got way too deep inside, and he knows how to step back and create space. He has a great high-arcing jumper. He is tall, and his jumper is also tall, as I said. It is a high-arcing jumper. Has a basket there from Minnesota. Makes it a 5-point game again. That's just way too easy. I like the defense Edwards showed. I like Minnesota pressing up on Devin Booker, forcing others to create. Iguodala flips the screen. Booker against Conley. He elbowed Conley in the face, and that is an offensive foul. That's a good call. Booker was trying to clear space. Elbowed Conley in the grill. Budenholzer is not even thinking about challenging. Booker is looking over to the assistant coaches to see if they want to challenge it, but Budenholzer isn't even thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's an easy call. Timberwolves broadcast is complaining about something. I didn't see what's happening. We were seeing the replay. Interesting there. Regardless, call stays. DiVincenzo misses wide. Gobert, the offensive rebound and the throwdown. Makes it a 3-point game. Minnesota still looking for their first lead of the game. They have trailed all the way. Booker, 3, good. That is a big reason why they've trailed the entire way. 42 for Devin Booker, a season high. Reed, right wing three is good. Back to a 3-point game. Naz Reid started the game 0 for 5. Since then, he is 4 for 5, up to 13 points, 4 rebounds. Conley knocks it away. Numbers for Minnesota. Alexander blocked. Devin Booker, but no, a goaltend was called. I was about to say Devin Booker, incredible on both ends, but a goaltend was called. Great hands by Conley. And Booker, great job, but I don't see it well from that angle, but it does appear. Oh, I don't know. Does it hit the glass first? A technical was called on Devin Booker as well. So a T on Booker, a T on Anthony Edwards, a flagrant foul, penalty 1 on Julius Randle. Conley in and out on the free throw. That would have tied the game. Minnesota has not tied. They have trailed the entire way. They were looking, as Michael Grady just mentioned, for their first tie. They can't get it. Conley, usually surefire from the charity stripe. Tyus Jones has been surefire in floater range today. Makes it a 3-point game. Did Minnesota miss their golden opportunity? O'Neal closing on Conley. Gobert gets Plumlee in the air, and a good foul by Mason Plumlee. Avoiding Gobert to go up with it strong. Plumlee now with his 4th foul. He has 4. Nurkic has 3. Nurkic picked up 2 early ones in the first quarter. Gobert missed the first one. We're 2 for 3 today from the charity stripe. Overall this season, 64% from the foul line, which is among the highest he's shot in his career. No, he's at 80% this year. Who was I reading? Yeah, he's at 80% from the charity stripe this year, which is a career high. He's also averaging a career low, or second lowest, the lowest being his rookie year, in terms of free throw attempts. 1.4 his rookie year. He only played 45 games. Since he's been a full-time starter, this is his lowest at 3.2. 4-point game for Phoenix. Conley hedged. Gobert denied. Devin Booker, and he takes a spill in the first row, along with a cameraman. Great defense from Devin Booker. A very underrated part of his game. He defends very well. There was a hedge on the ball screen on Conley. And you look at Devin Booker. That wasn't a block, but a great effort to alter the shot. And Gobert called for the personal. Anthony Edwards checks in at 6:40 left to play in the fourth. Maybe a tad too late for my liking. He's played 32 minutes. So he'll be at 38 when it's all said and done if he plays the rest of the way. I feel like maybe a minute earlier would have been nice. He scored 13 of the last 15 for Minnesota in the third. He had 13 in the third. He has 17 for the game. He was very quiet in the first half. Was not looking for a shot. He was only like 2 for 4 from the field. And another turnover for Phoenix, and it's an illegal screen. A lot of unforced errors by the Suns. They are up to 16 turnovers. Booker himself has committed 4. And you see, not set. Stretching out that arm a bit. Phoenix usually surefire with the basketball, but not taking care of it today. They are only averaged 13.5 turnovers per contest heading into it. Today, they're at 16 already. Devin Booker misses. Plumlee misses as well. He missed on the reverse. He tried to go for a fancy finish. Conley ball fakes. Turned it over. Even if a travel wasn't called, DiVincenzo wasn't going to get to it. A lot of indecision there for Conley. Good transition defense by the Suns. Last 6 minutes. Booker with McDaniels on him. Edwards is on off the ball, I should say, on Iguodaro. Booker left that one short. We are approaching the final 5 minutes. This appears to be a clutch game. Edwards, illegal screen by Julius Randle. Not getting set in Minnesota with also a lot of unforced turnovers. They have 13 turnovers in total. Randle with his third. And again, the same situation as Devin Booker, just slightly moving. Like right when he said, you see that slight move. Unnecessary. Booker doubled at half court. Gets rid of it to Tyus Jones. Booker setting the screen, looking to get the switch. He does. He'll post up. DiVincenzo will not get away, but a foul. And that one is a bit questionable. That one I will agree with Dante DiVincenzo. That's his second. Michael Grady just pointed out that's their fourth team foul. Rest of the way, penalty will be free throws for Phoenix. The next personal fouls by Minnesota. There's a back screen for Plumlee. I think he was open. Tyus thought about it. Booker doubled. End of the shot clock. 3 to shoot. Iguodaro on the cut. He lost it on his way to the rim. McDaniels knocked it away. Randle looking for Edwards. He finds him. Edwards looking for the rim. He cannot find that one as he misses. And we are into the last 5 minutes of this ball game. Minnesota has come back from down 16 in the first half, but they have trailed the entire way. It hasn't been tied. Iguodaro on the short roll. The floater is good. He has played a tremendous game today. Also, Iguodaro, 11 points off the bench in 25 minutes. Key minutes for the Phoenix Suns. Randle driving on. Plumlee gets to a spot, can't finish. Long rebound. McDaniels and Booker fighting for it. No fouls called anywhere. It is off DiVincenzo. And it'll be Phoenix basketball. A drink slip, so they will clean up there. Timeout called by the Suns. Up 6, 4.5 left. What a ball game this has been. What a first game to do a stream. What a great game. The Suns have 4 players in double figures. Also, Iguodaro is one of them. He has played a tremendous game. Minnesota has 5 players in double figures, yet they're still down. But again, off the strength of their leading scorer, Devin Booker, up to 42 points. 14 of 25 shooting from the floor. He has been spectacular. Hoops are fun, folks. Hoops are fun. So a very contested game when you look at the box score. The Phoenix Suns have 4 players in double figures. The Timberwolves had 5. But with the Phoenix up 6, the difference has been the leading scorer. For Minnesota, it's Julius Randle. That's the best way to summarize this game up to this point. Randle has 28 points to lead the way for Minnesota. Edwards has 17. 13 of those came in the third. But as I was about to mention, you see there on the graphic, Devin Booker, 42 to lead the way for the Suns. Grayson Allen has 15. Tyus Jones and Oso Iguodala have 11 each. For the Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert has 11. Dante DiVincenzo with 15. Nasri 13 off the bench for the Timberwolves. Iguodala again on the short roll finds Mason Plumlee. Nurkic on the bench. So the Suns closing with Mason Plumlee. Devin Booker is out of his damn mind. 44 on the night. He has only missed 11 shots. He is off the charts. Julius Randle on the floater. Hoop and the harm. 30 on the night for Julius Randle to go with 7 assists. Randle has been great creating. The Suns have had no matchup for Julius Randle, and I was mentioning earlier, I like the fit he has shown this year. He has been spectacular. As a timeout is called. Is this a challenge? I don't see any green light. I believe I heard Michael Grady say the word challenge. It is a challenge. Okay. So it is a challenge. Julius Randle, 30 points. He is 3 shy of his season high, which is 33. He reached 33 points in his second game of the season against Sacramento. He scored 33 against Sacramento, and then in the last game, 26 against Sacramento. So in games against Sacramento is where he scored the 2 highest outputs of his season so far with the Timberwolves. Outside of the game against the Kings, his season high is 24. Outside of this game against the Suns. So interesting there. He's gotten whatever he's wanted against Keegan Murray. You see, Randle, I believe the allegation from the Suns is that, well, I don't know what it is. Because that is clearly a foul on Devin Booker. Did he just say booger? He just said booger, I think. I don't know what they were thinking. So Phoenix is now down to 2 timeouts. That was an interesting challenge. Very interesting challenge, and the Minnesota Timberwolves broadcast is as confused as I am. They're even more confused than I am. They're the Timberwolves broadcast. But very interesting challenge there. Maybe they were looking to get it off Booker, but again, you have people looking at the replay. So for Booker, it is his 4th foul. So I do understand that logic. I'm like, hey, our star player just picked up his 4th foul. Let's try to get this one removed. But it was clearly a foul. So you could have used the challenge elsewhere. He still has 2 fouls to give before he gets fouled out. So I understand the logic, but in practice, needs some work. Plumlee receives the screen before setting one. I believe that's called a ram screen. O'Neal, good defense from Edwards. Jones attacking Randle. Floater is good. Tyus Jones has been automatic in floater range tonight. 13 points. The 3rd leading scorer for the Suns. Behind Grayson Allen's 15. Alexander Walker weaving through, has nothing, and he traveled. Very clearly traveled with the basketball. A really bad play by Alexander Walker. Mike Conley checking back in. And I believe Alexander Walker got a big leash. Conley will check back into the next dead ball. I don't understand why DiVincenzo isn't in the game. Very interesting. Booker comes off the screen. O'Neal attacks the closeout very patiently. He kicks it to Jones. 5 to shoot. Hand off Booker near half court. Booker, the runner. That one is short. And a timeout call by Minnesota. A use it or lose it timeout. Coming up to the 3-minute mark. We need to have less than 3 timeouts, and Minnesota was just at 3. So the use it or lose it timeout used now by the Timberwolves, and they desperately need a bucket coming out of it. They're down 7, 3 minutes left to play. Looking to avoid what would be a 4th loss in the last 5 games. They come into this contest having lost 3 of 4. They almost dropped that 4th one, which was the last game they played on Friday in Sacramento. They were up 16 at the Kings. They blew that lead. Fox scored 60, helped bring them back, scored 26 between the 4th quarter and overtime. And they almost blew that game, but they have dropped 3 out of 4, and this would be a gutting loss at home against a Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal-less Phoenix Suns team, with Devin Booker scoring 44 points on 55.6% from the field. He has been sensational all night. And Dante DiVincenzo will stay on the bench, so the lineup will be Conley, McDaniels, Edwards, Randall, and Gobert. I would use DiVincenzo over Conley, respectfully. Conley's got 3 points. DiVincenzo has 15. I would even debate using Naz Reid over Rudy Gobert, but that's a different conversation for another day. But I feel like Dante being on the bench over Conley is a mistake. Even though his hot stretch already passed, I feel like that's a mistake. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Dante is quick, so he can match up with Tyus Jones. So I don't know. But Devin Booker defends Edwards. Plumlee came up on the hedge. Minnesota desperately needing a bucket in this possession. Randall spins, met at the rim by O'Neal, but a foul is called. And O'Neal holding onto his mouth. Randall will get 2 free throws. And O'Neal was on the worst receiving end of that one, it appears. As Randall spins, and yeah, he creates contact with the off arm. I mean, goddamn, if they challenge that one, now that would be an offensive foul, I feel like. That's a challenge-worthy call. But ball don't lie, I suppose, as Randall misses the first one. Minnesota is struggling from the line. They have missed 7 free throws. On the season, they are 9th in the league in free throw percentage at 79.2. So big struggles there. He splits the pair. Makes it a 6-point game, 2:40 left to play, 4th quarter. McDaniels on Booker. Edwards close to the paint, leaving Jones, who attacks the closeout. Bounce to Plumlee. He is denied and a turnover. Rudy Gobert, great defense on the rim, and maybe that's why he's on the floor over Naz Reid. Kevin. Great defense at the rim from Rudy. Edwards left Jones with a lot of space. He was way too deep in the paint. Yeah, Plumlee just lost it going up. Tried to go up with the right, create separation with the left. Booker kicks the ball there. Minnesota will retain possession, 2:22 left to play. They are struggling in this 4th quarter. They're only winning it by 1. They won the 3rd, 32-26. They are struggling in this last period of play. Inbound Conley, back screen Edwards, kick to Julius Randle, in and out, Gobert taps it out. They need this. Edwards provides it. Big time 3 for Anthony Edwards, his first basket of the 4th quarter. He's up to 20 points. Conley falls down, that's an offensive foul. Phoenix turns it over. Minnesota back with a golden opportunity to tie. They were in a better situation. They were down 1 earlier in the 4th with a chance to tie. Mike Conley missed a technical free throw. and they couldn't convert on the offensive possession. They have not tied. They have trailed the entire way. Edwards against O'Neal with Jones helping. Edwards to Randall against Booker. That's a mismatch. Conley extra pass. McDaniels attacking! Oh my goodness! Jaden McDaniels makes it a 1-point game. With a flush against Mason Plumlee. Booker gets the switch. McDaniels doubles. Allen attacking Gobert on the closeout. 6 to shoot. Need to do something. Allen will. He'll airball a 3. What an attack by Jaden McDaniels. Pass was deflected. He got to it. End of the shot clock. Extending with a tomahawk on Mason Plumlee. Edwards lets the ball roll. Clock commences to run now. 1:16 left to play. Edwards with the switch. O'Neal on him. He'll hesitate. Crossover. Get inside. The pull up. Off the window. First lead for Minnesota in this entire game. And it comes in the last minute of the fourth quarter. Booker doubled. Swing. Allen. That's a backbreaker. Grayson Allen with a big-time three-pointer in the corner. Makes it a 2-point game. Phoenix back on top. Edwards gets fouled on his way to the rim. And they'll head to the line for the chance to tie. What a clutch basket from Grayson Allen. Clearly both feet behind the line. He got hit. That could have been a foul. Risky play there by Mike Conley. What a time for Minnesota to go back on top. Clutch basket by Anthony Edwards. And now down 2 off the 3 by Grayson Allen. And now Minnesota, it's quite funny. The last game in Sacramento, they led the entire way, up 16 heading into the fourth. They blew the lead and had to win from underneath on the road. Now at home, the roles are reversed. They've trailed the entire way. Their largest deficit has also been 16, but theirs was in the second quarter today. And now they take their first lead in the last minute, and they tie for the first time with 46.4 left to play in the fourth. 117 all. Booker has led the way. Randall kept Minnesota afloat. Anthony Edwards has come to the rescue with 20 points in the second half. Tied at 117, 46.4 left to play. And look at the road ahead for these teams. The Suns will have their offenses tested. They are at Minnesota right now. They were at OKC. Their next game is against the Orlando Magic, who recently have been incredible on defense. I will look up the stat right now. I was looking at it yesterday. Their defense has been incredible. Overall on the year, they are second in the least amount of points allowed. These are stats as of yesterday. So before the games yesterday, 102.4 points allowed. In their last 5 games, they are only allowing 89.4 points per game. And the second lowest in that stretch, the Houston Rockets, they allow 104. And they have kept superstars at bay. Devin Booker will have that task next game. But Booker right now needs to focus on getting this win in Minnesota without his 2 co-stars. He gets Alexander Walker on a switch. They double him and they kick the ball away. And some of the superstars and the stars, I should say, that the Orlando Magic have kept at bay in their last 5 games. Brandon Miller, shot 3 for 18 against them. Brandon Ingram shot 4 of 12. Tyrese Halliburton shot 3 of 14. Joel Embiid and Paul George in the last game that the Magic played, which is on Friday, against the Sixers. Embiid was held to 5 of 15 and Paul George to 4 of 15. So Devin Booker will have that difficult task next game, especially if Bradley Beal also misses the contest. Booker gets open for 3. That one is off. Ball is loose. Booker gets it. 14-second difference. Game and shot clock. Booker double. Jones attacking the closeout. Jones floater. No. They get the offensive rebound. Knocked away. Grayson Allen has it. Shot clock turned off. Suns win it. Or no, there's a 2-second difference. Game and shot clock. Booker, the runner. No good. Alexander Walker corrals it. Shot clock violation. I believe they're going to have to look at the clock. 2.7 left. Chris Finch will call for time. What a stand for Minnesota. Forcing Booker to miss a couple of shots in a row. Anthony Edwards, one-on-one. Conley coming over from behind. Good contest from Jaden McDaniels. That was that last shot. The previous one was a deep 3. That is a great contest from Jaden McDaniels. Alexander Walker grabbed the rebound. 2.7 left to play. And then if it wasn't anything less, the Suns will go and play the Knicks. They play the Magic tomorrow on a back-to-back. That one's at home. Then they play the Knicks. Then the Lakers. So big stretch of difficult opponents. They play the pesky Nets, then the Warriors, then Wemby and the Spurs. They're at New Orleans, at Miami, and then at Orlando once again. That is the road ahead for the Suns. For the Timberwolves, they play at Toronto, at Boston. That'll be a juggernaut matchup next week. So only 2 games this week without counting this one. 3 games, I should say, counting this one. This week at Toronto, at Boston, then Houston, Sacramento again. 2.7 left on the clock. Joe Ingles checks in. He will inbound it. He is a good passer. Edwards setting the screen. He comes off the elevator screen. Denial. Randall, step back 3 for the win! Julius Randle wins it for Minnesota at the buzzer! The best game of his season in a Timberwolves jersey. A season-high scoring mark with 35 points. And what a moment to cap it off. A game-winning step-back 3. He kept Minnesota afloat in that first half. And he wins it at the buzzer. With his family in attendance. What a moment for Julius Randle. I was talking about the fit. I like the fit. Okogie, was that a flop or was that a push-off? Is that a Jordan-type push-off that we'll forget? Or was that an offensive foul that was missed? Julius Randle wins it. Let's see here. Oh, that was an offensive foul. Yikes. I was mentioning the late-game controversies we had yesterday with Giannis being called for a foul against LaMelo Ball that was canceled out. Jason Tatum traveling on a game winner for Boston against Toronto. And now Julius Randle potentially getting away with an offensive foul. Holy smokes. Regardless, what a shot from Julius Randle. What a comeback win from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Down the entire game. They were down 16 in the second quarter. They came back. They had never led and never tied up until the final minute of this game. And for Phoenix, 44 points from Devin Booker without Bradley Beal nor Kevin Durant. Booker shooting 50% from the field. A very winnable contest by Minnesota, or by Phoenix, I should say. They cannot get it done. Timberwolves escape with a 3-point win on the back of a Julius Randle buzzer beater. And the Suns drop it. The Timberwolves win their second straight. Wow. What a game. What a game. That was fun. That was fun for a first stream. Hopefully not the last. It was very, very fun. So